All right, we are live.
Turning on our mics.
Oh, I don't have a mic for myself. I'll be right back.
You're probably not gonna speak.
Are you muted today? I'll give it back to that meeting.
All right, we'll call this meeting to order. We'll start with the committee portion of the meeting, and we'll start with the presentation and recognition of Wisconsin School Board Week, which is October 5th through the 11th.
Yeah, so there's a proclamation that is attached for your reference, and I just wanted to mention that from myself and our administrative team, as well as on behalf of the rest of our staff, we are sincerely appreciative of our board members and the fact that you're public education minded and engaged and great human beings to boot. So thank you so much for your work.
Thank you. We'll move on to discuss the possible esports clubs.
We're gonna get the family checkup from Rena.
Oh, jeepers.
We can skip it if we're in a hurry, or we want to move it to another time.
Let's do the family checkup.
Okay, let's do it. How about I'll be really quick? It's a good idea or a great idea. This is the curriculum spotlight. The family checkup is something new. I've alluded to it several times. I think I've mentioned it in our weekly updates kind of thing. But I just thought I'd give you a broader picture of what it is. And it's a program that brings together cell and mental health and parents with the school. Can you go to the next?
Well, I'm trying. It's working on my computer, but it's
Oh,
not
that's okay.
working up
Can
there.
you just escape from that view and just go to the next slide?
Well, I'm trying, but
Just click number 2 on the slider. Oh, it won't even do that.
it works here. Fabulous,
You guys
but not
want
on
to
the
just crowd
screen.
around the raised computer?
Yeah,
Is that
Slight malfunction.
yeah. It works wonderful down here, but not up there.
so weird?
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
It's okay.
Can y'all see this?
Oh, I can't. I need the slides. I didn't hear the slides, so I would
Why
need
don't
them.
you sit in Lori's?
Yeah, or can you try maybe one more time, and if it doesn't
Yeah.
work, we'll give up.
Well,
We're not giving up.
I mean, we're not giving up on the presentation. We'll give up on that. I'm trying.
I
I
don't.
promise you'll get your family checkup.
Thank you.
Curriculum spotlight.
This is the kind of entertainment that will ensure that we surpass our number of views for this particular meeting.
Okay, there we go. We're on page 2.
See a line
So
up.
this is just the origin story. UW-Madison reached out to several schools in the state and said, hey, we want to do a study about how this parenting program works and what kind of effects it has on people's lives. Do you want to be a part of it? And that was Mrs. Christensen, who used to be Ms. Stanford, our school counselor, her first year. So I said, well, what do you think, James? Because a lot of this would fall on you. And she said, well, it looks like it's a perfect fit both for our school and it matches really well with the strategic plan that had just been completed, because there's a lot of it is straight on focused on mental health, and all of it is tangentially supportive of mental health. So last year we started it, and we met with 15 families, and we chose them very carefully. We asked if they would be a part of the study because we wanted to, first, before we sent it out wide to schools, we wanted to make sure we thought it was useful and it wouldn't be something that we were embarrassed to offer parents, to be honest. So we chose the parents very carefully, and knowing they would be honest about what they thought of the program, and they loved it. So we thought, okay, well this year we'll offer it wide because it's completely free to us. So we had our first discussion with parents at Back to School Night, and then I sent something on Class Dojo, which is our school-wide communication platform, and 34 parents have signed up so far this year. And my guess is more will sign up before we get started, because each year the grant gives us $10,000 in discretionary funds, and they don't care how we spend it. So we are going to use some of that money as an incentive to pay families for completion of the course through gift cards. And we did that last year, and it was very well received. We'll also use it for meals. We meet twice with the families, and more if they want to meet more, so we use it for meals at those events. And then we're going to spend a bunch of that money on a big family night for the whole district. We've done this in the past. We didn't last year, but once a year we try to have a big mental health event. We've used screenagers. We've had I don't even remember, I can't even remember a single other thing we did, because Screenagers was the biggest impact one. But we do something most years. So this year, we're gonna bring a speaker, the parenting professor, to come and do a session with parents, and we'll pay kids to, high school kids or middle school kids to babysit little kids, and then we'll have a nice community dinner catered by Village Pizzeria. You got to the next one. So what is it? It's an app, and what happens is you get on the app and you decide, do you want to focus on the lessons for children 0 to 5 or 5 to 10, and then it works you through 5 modules. Parents can opt in to get texts that give little, friendly reminders or parenting tips or words of encouragement. Surprisingly, we say, do you want to opt in or not? And if you don't, we don't send them the text. Almost everybody wants the texts, which was a surprise to me. Once they are logged in, it's asynchronous. They work at their own pace on the lessons, their little video lessons, and they have goal-setting parts and things to practice with your kids, but there's no time commitment or expectation. They can work through it as fast or as slowly as they want. They can do the parts they want to do. They have to complete all the modules, but they don't have to do the goal-setting or anything. It's completely parent-driven. And then that's kind of what it looks like when you sign in. That's an example of the letter that I sent to parents. The main thing I wanted parents to know is that I wasn't targeting them because I thought they were bad parents. Not at all. It's anyone, open to anyone, and again, we got a pretty good response. 35 is a pretty good number of parents, more than I would have assumed at our first pitch. And I'll pitch it again. And if you go to the last slide, I think that's the last one, or second to last, it shows how we have structured it, and it's similar to last year. We'll do an introductory meeting where we walk parents through how to download the app, how to put it on their home screen, how to do all those things, and we'll let the kids play while they do that. They will work on the lessons on their own time. We do a mid-year check-in on a Google form where parents can say what they liked, what they don't like, do they have questions. We're obliged to offer them coaching if they want to come and do coaching sessions with Mrs. Christensen or me. However, we're very honest with parents that no one knows all the answers to parenting. It's easier to be a principal than it is to be a parent. So I can't say I have better answers than them, and Mrs. Christensen doesn't have children. So maybe we're not the best coaches. And then we do an end of the year celebration where we come together and just talk. And I think part of what the parents liked about it last year was the sense that they weren't alone. You get to talk about how your kid does this or that, and everyone's like, mine too. And I think that helps with mental health for families. Okay. And that's just an idea of who the parenting professor is. We're going to do that big community event on April 7th. That's it.
Yeah, it is very good.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any opportunity to apply it like in the middle school or like some of those transitional
Yeah.
grades? Will there be benefit to
Yeah,
that too?
there can be, and the question is, what will happen after the study's done? It's a 2-year study, and this is year 2. So it's possible that they'll give us access to the program for hereafter, that they've talked about doing that. That's still not nailed down. And if you wanted me to open it up to your parents this year, I certainly can. It does take some work on the administrative end, so Mrs. Christensen is doing a lot of work in terms of registering parents and monitoring, so. But if you're interested and you want us to share with your parents, or even just 5th and 6th, we'd be happy to.
Question, any others?
Did you say is Little Saints, are they participating in this?
No, we have not done it, we haven't done it with Little Saints,
Okay.
and it would be great to do with Little Saints, but again, because we're trying to be a little careful with our own time and human resources too, so.
I was just curious.
But if it opens up and they say we can have it free, totally. Mhm.
All right, any other questions? All right,
Well,
thanks.
Tina, if you want to try it, you can. If you wanna see what it's like, if that's, I forgot you have kids at Little Saints. I would be
I don't
happy-
have to. I can-
No, oh no, it's no problem. I think it would be great, because then I would have a board member's perspective on,
Yeah.
on the program
I'd
too.
be
I would
willing.
love to sign you up for it.
I'm pretty sure I signed up too, so you'll have
You
two.
did sign up, that's right, I saw your name
But
on the
not
list.
3, so there's not a quorum.
Yeah, oh, there you go. Quorum every time you get on the app.
So did you do it last year?
I did not.
Oh, you got
I
this.
was not one of the excellent parents that was chosen to pilot the program.
But you're gonna
I
do this.
didn't
I
say
know.
it was a value judgment.
No, you're fine. But yes, I did sign up.
All right, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Cool.
Yeah, but definitely sign up as well.
I-
I'm curious
yeah, I'll
if
look at
it
it.
is opened up to our younger families.
Yeah, you could
I think
really
that
be able
would
to
be
give some
helpful.
good insight there, so I definitely will get you signed up.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
All right, we'll move on to the esports club discussion, curriculum and policy.
Yeah, so this came from the high school, and of course, Mr. Wilson can answer any specific questions, but fairly simple. There was an esports club, loose organization prior that was started by Katie Jacobson. She's, of course, since departed this employment with and now we have another staff member that's interested in potentially taking up that mantle and reestablishing an esports club. And I will say on the front end, we don't anticipate there's any additional costs associated with it. This wouldn't be anything super formal. It would be when the group is available, and if they wanted to meet and are available 5 nights a week, they could do that. And if they wanted to meet a couple times a month, they could do that. And I think it would just be an opportunity for students and staff that have that kind of interest to get together. And I think eventually there's opportunities that you can enroll is the wrong word, you can register like as a team and do competitions and these sorts of things too, so it's kind of cool. And like I said, it would be cost neutral at this stage. There isn't any need to add an advisorship or anything like that, but an opportunity for kids.
And I think all but Dawn were on the board when we approved that. I mean, it hasn't been, it's not like it's sat dormant for years. It was, no, last year, but the year before, I believe, that we approved the club in the first place.
2 or 3 years, yeah.
It wasn't terribly long.
And we do have the equipment. We've got 5 super-powered computers.
Yeah, to me, it just feels like you're changing advisors and have interested students.
Yep.
And
Just wanted to make sure that you were aware.
I did send out a survey just to gauge interest to the student body, and I've got 30 kids that have expressed interest.
Wow.
So what do you do with the other 25?
There will be some organization of
Not
who
everyone's
gets to
doing
play
it at the
when.
same time. Yeah.
There are 7 different games in the league, and then, on the survey also is a list of the games, and then which kids would be interested in which games. So a couple of the games were Super Smash Brothers Ultimate and Fortnite. Those are the 2 big ones.
And I think students will bring in
Right.
their own systems as well.
Yeah, just, I mean, Don, do you need any more information? Because the rest of us heard about it the first time, it was good.
Yeah, I don't know really much about it, like what it is, but I'm gauging it's like a online game. They can come and play together.
You bet. And like Mr. Roy said, register for, in the upper level of things, competitions all over the country. And pretty neat electronic opportunity.
I'm surprised you only got 30.
The rest of them want to play in their own basement.
Yeah. Yeah, so would they come in here, or not here, this room, but in the school?
Yeah, the media center, yep.
Yeah.
Yep, so we'd have an advisor / supervisor, that would be the role essentially, and he would play along with them once in a while, whatever, but, organization would be key as far as, obviously, if we have, I doubt 30 kids would be available and able on a given night to show up, but, sign-ups and spreading it out over, this kid gets 45 minutes and then off to the next, or whatever that may mean, I don't know. I'm not a gamer and I won't pretend to completely understand it, but yeah, essentially it's amazing opportunity. I mean, up to the college level, they have competitive teams.
So if kids want to compete at like a higher level, is there like a sponsorship or something that the school does to cover those costs, or is that strictly on being as a school club?
I don't know if there are costs involved.
Okay, it's all online.
I would imagine for some there are.
Yeah, and
And what we'll do is kind of take it step by step and then identify if there are dollars to be spent, you guys would be updated on that. If we wanted, if it becomes something that's serious, we would likely look at adding an advisor and then giving them a modest budget, much like we do for anything else. But on the front end, that's not the plan. So if there were costs associated with those, would be incurred by the students and their families on the front end.
And is it a year-round club?
yeah, but, yes, but supervisor would be setting the expectations in the calendar for that. You know, it might be a lot to ask someone who's not around in July to follow that role. So I'd give a lot of the power, so, you know, as so to speak, to the advisor to set the schedule.
And I'm assuming that most of these games come with the ability for online chat. Does that go then through our firewalls?
Yeah,
So
we'd
that
be,
stays appropriate?
yeah, we'd be using our system, yeah.
What if somebody brings in their
Brings their
own?
own.
But they'd go
They'd
through our
still-
Wi-Fi
right,
system, our
correct.
Wi-Fi.
Yep. So it'll most likely take a little bit of Mr. Cray's magic to open some windows, doors, whatever you call it. Yep,
Yeah. I know some kids come and set up and play,
yep,
like Super Smash Brothers. They have a small projector, they project on the wall in the commons, and just hang it out after school. And I don't know though if that's online or not.
right.
I'm not clear on that, if that's actually,
Or if they're just playing amongst themselves.
Correct.
Right there, right,
Yeah.
yeah, that I don't know. There's some technical questions.
we'll figure it out.
Beautiful.
Anything else?
No.
All right, we'll move on to the mountain biking club.
Yeah, so there's, the request will be that we get the board's approval at a future meeting regarding a possible mountain biking club. And that came to fruition as a result of some conversations between me and Keith Valesky, who's, I think, he's a member of the Woolly Bike Club. I don't know what office he holds. He was president. I don't know if he still is. As well as through my participation on the Park Arts and Trails Commission. There's another Woolly Bike Club member on that commission. And as you probably recognize, we have some pretty darn nice mountain bike / single track trails here in the city of St. Croix Falls. And I've had the opportunity to ride them myself a handful of times after work, of course. And we had, not during the day, we had a couple of conversations over time about wouldn't it be cool if we had an opportunity to see if there would be some students interested in doing a mountain bike club. So my response to that was absolutely, that'd be cool. So I sent out a very brief survey to high school students. We're going to start the process focusing only on high school kids. We have, that had been donated to the district, mostly donated. I'm sure there was some district dollars tied up in that. 22 or 24 like legitimate mountain bikes that students can use. So technically it's open to anyone. One of the questions I asked on the survey was, do you have a mountain bike? And when I said that, I did indicate that it would have to be, you know, a quote-unquote legitimate mountain bike. And I don't mean to point fingers at anybody, but you probably don't want a mountain bike with like a Walmart special, because it can be pretty dangerous if you don't have the proper equipment. Knowing that we had in their Trek Marlin 4s, which is a decent Trek model that students that don't have one could use. Woolly Bike Club has said that they would provide a helmet to anybody that doesn't have a helmet, and things like that. So through that survey, we had identified that there was 12 kids that were interested in that possibility. And we have tentatively set, based on this evening's commentary, of course, tentatively set the first exploration of our trails. We're going to go through some safety stuff with the kids and about you know, mountain biking in general, and then we'll hit the trails for a minor ride that evening on October 21st. That's tentatively what we have it scheduled for. And then from there, pending approval, of course, and moving the club forward, we would work on establishing, and similar to the esports club, it wouldn't be Monday through Friday, 3:30 to 5. It would be, you know, a couple to a few times a month is what I envision. Setting some times with the group of kids and communicating those times, and then meeting up and having a ride and learning some things about single track biking. So that's the plan as it stands, and there would not be any additional dollars that would be necessary in the advisorship or anything like that. We're not in a phase in that regard. Similar to the esports conversation, there are schools that have, I'm not aware of any like legitimate school-sponsored mountain bike or single track team, but there are school adjacent, so very similar club sort of scenario. And then they are registering for and competing in various events that are held, with school-aged kids competing. So that's something that could potentially happen on the horizon too. But on the front end, it's going to be, hey, here's the story with mountain biking, and let's go give it a shot and have some fun.
Is that something you'd start a little bit now and then maybe pick up in the spring again?
Yeah, so depending upon what the weather looks like, I mean, as long as if there's a lot of snow on the ground, you can do fat tire biking. We don't have 22 fat tire bikes. They're just standard mountain bikes. So generally, any time we would go would be when trails are open and they're not covered with snow or ice or something like that. But admittedly, if it's wet and muddy, it makes it a little bit more fun. So we might do something like that too. But yeah, so probably October, November is what I envision. Then you'd take a pause for, December, January, February, and then get back at it when the trails are suitable again in the spring.
Any questions? Sounds good. All right, we will move on to the ECCP application, the Early College Credit Program, which has a lot. Triple letters.
Yep. And there too, Mr. Wilson can provide any additional commentary that's necessary, but for the benefit of the board, typically the threshold by which we make determinations around whether or not the ECCP options would be approved is based on whether or not we offer something similar here at the high school. And so you can't skip high school coursework to take coursework for college credit is generally what the approach is. Unless, for example, you have a graduating senior that is looking to take a course that we're not offering. So sociology was the perfect example that we just had a conversation about. We offer sociology. It's not offered this year. If you're a senior, you're signing up for sociology through the Early College Credit Program. We would approve it because you're a senior, you didn't have an opportunity to take it. But if you were a junior, we said, sorry, you're gonna come back and have to take it next year through the high school. So that's just an example, a recent example. There's several other ones on the list with respect to the denied courses about why those would be denied that we can get into with specifics. But generally it is, if it's available here at the high school, you gotta take that first, and then you can take other similar courses for college credit, but not courses that we offer that you could be taking here at the high school. So generally that's the bar. And then, of course, the bar is that you have to be able to pass the course and work your way through the college level rigor and so forth and so on. This program was developed in the state. I want to say this is probably year 8 or 9 or 10, something like that. It's been around for a while. And it has been on a steady trajectory up. And frankly, it's required under state statute. And so the idea that just like open enrollment in and out, the board really has any authority to say, no, we're not doing early college credit program. We don't really have that capability. Plus, it's pretty awesome when you can have kids enrolled in college credit courses. I mean, I don't know anybody that would be adamantly opposed to it, but what I will say is that it does come with a cost. And that is a cost that the school district bears, and we do not get funding for that program. But it's totally beneficial. I'm not stating that to say we shouldn't do it. I'm stating it because it's a fact.
And then the approved courses are the ones that they will attempt to sign up for, right? They full,
Right. Potentially.
Yeah.
So the students are advised to select multiple courses, as you'll see on there, that most kids have 2 or 3, if not more, because we don't know what's gonna fly in the spring and what will, so there's a chance that, well, not that one, nutrition and weight management may not have enough students enrolled through this program throughout the state, and they may cancel that class altogether. So students are advised to sign, put down 2 or 3 options, with the most take 1 per term, just for management purposes and time purposes. So when you, in that column, where you see 2, 3, 4 classes, most students are not taking more than one. It's their grocery list to select from once we get to that process, because there are multiple steps along the way for that to actually happen.
Any other questions? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to the high school drama rehearsal on Sunday, November 9th. And the performance on Sunday, November 16th.
Pretty straightforward. I'm just looking to get Sunday practice in preparation for the performance weekend.
And I assume that would be afternoon.
You know about the time?
She did not have a time in mind, but could be more than happy to do whatever she could. So that direction would be. no
Yeah,
problem.
we've just
Yeah.
traditionally done that
Yep.
for
Yeah.
church stuff in the morning. Any other questions? All right, I'll call the official board meeting to order. We'll start with the pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Matt Bryce.
Here.
Tashina Rager.
Here.
Don Milky.
Here.
Ronnie Schuler.
Here.
Brett McCurdy.
Here. All right, Matt, would you please read the mission statement and the rules of the meeting?
Yep, the mission statement. The mission of the school district of St. Croix Falls is to provide a supportive, student-centered learning environment that cultivates character, fosters academic excellence, and embraces diversity. The board meeting rules. Focus on the mission, vision statements of the district. Come prepared. Be respectful of others and open, accepting of ideas. Actively participate. Avoid side conversations. Remember, board meetings are open forum.
All right, thank you, Matt. We'll move on to principal's comments. Start with Mr. Wilson.
Yeah, sounds good, thank you. One thing I didn't have down earlier, but I want to make mention of as we're talking about the esports club and mountain bike club, we are a very unique high school, as Mr. Brown mentioned, with our trails and whatnot around. It's very unique that we have that opportunity. To add those two opportunities to our student body is pretty amazing when we think about what we offer here in this small town school. We've got a culture club, which diversity is their focus. We've got your FFA. We have an environmental club. I just thought about that on the way in because our posters now out on the lockers talking about what our recycling center is doing for the big clean sweep coming up. We've got mentoring programs, the clowns and kinship. We've got such a diverse club offering that it's really unique. So I just wanted to make mention of that as we're thinking about these things. It's pretty cool. And again, unique for a small school to be able to offer that many clubs. I don't have the 2025 Youth Risk Behavior Survey results yet. They're not released, but the 2023, we had 77% of our kids involved in a club or a group or a sport. And that's amazing. And there's no doubt that connectedness to school breeds success. So just a plug on the side for these two additional clubs, esports and mountain biking, or I would argue there aren't many schools anywhere that do that offer those things. So kind of a cool, neat thing to mention.
Is that 77% without the anticipated kids that would join the club too?
Yeah. Yeah, so, and a couple years prior to that, I think it was 79 or 80. So we've been hovering that way for quite a while. And as I look at my list of e-sport interest, I would argue that there's a batch of kids on there that aren't currently involved in something.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, exactly. So the breadth and just the diversity of what we're offering is really amazing. It is. Last Wednesday, we had our annual evac drill, and these two may mention something about that as well, but you know, if something's going on in school and we need to get the heck out of here, we did our evac drill practice. In the middle and high school, we go down to the Shepherd of the Valley Church, so we connect with them every year and make sure we're in good shape with them. And you know, thank you to them for allowing our middle and high school kids to have that as the rendezvous point. The location is nice, the facility is nice, they're great to work with, so thanks to them. The evac drill went very smooth. Kids are so good about it. our staff are so diligent and focused, and when it was all said and done, we look back and obviously review things, but when we were done with it this year, it was like, wow, that was a well-oiled machine. Now, obviously, if we have to evacuate, it probably isn't gonna go that smoothly, because it's gonna be, get out of this place, but it went very well, so that was confidence building. Parent-teacher conferences last Thursday, fairly well attended actually for the first part of the year. I did send out a parent reminder on Tuesday for our Thursday conferences, because we had a fair number of kids with current Fs going on, so I wanted to just give a little extra nudge, and I think that helped. So we had a pretty busy night comparatively for parent-teacher conferences. Last Friday, I met with a reading and literacy specialist. Just wanted to gather some information on reading instruction, word recognition, language comprehension, and research-based strategies. It's one area that I want to start working more with in our high school level, and we've all talked about that as well. So I wanted to talk with someone outside of our world here. Many of us have been here a long, long time, and we have Saints blinders on. This is all we know. So I wanted to meet with someone in the from a different district who lives and breathes these things, to get together some information as we start pulling it together. And then I met with our PLC leaders to start talking about this and planning for the year and what we can do to enhance it in the high school end. And then this Friday, I will be taking a group of 30 kids over to Noble's Manufacturing. It's manufacturing week, month, one of the two. I should know that right now, but I don't. We're doing a field trip over there. They're welcoming 30 of our students, so it was kind of a first come, first serve sign up for kids, but it'll be a cool opportunity to get some kids. They had to come and talk with Miss Sinclair and explain why they want to go, to show some true interest. So it'll be a fun field trip on Friday. What we got?
All right, very good. We'll bounce down to you, Miss Platt.
Whoa.
I'm processing that whoa.
It's not linear.
We had our more breakfast with your kiddos events, and the parents love it and the kids love it. And this time Amy, gosh, I don't know how you pronounce it. Is it Dowser? I don't know how you pronounce it. Dowser came and talked to parents about nutrition and how we calculate what to serve and whatnot. And that was pretty fun, and the parents really liked it. Our CU has started, and that's the in-school banking. Our CU comes and does interviews with the kids and then selects tellers to work at our school bank, and it's an amazing leadership opportunity for our kids, and we're grateful to our CU. We had a driver cookout to remind our wonderful drivers that they are appreciated and cared for. We celebrated the kiddos who completed the summer reading program with the best pirate party ever in the world. If you've never been to a pirate party, then you wouldn't know this was the best one in the world. But if you attended lots of pirate parties like I had, you'd know this was the best one that ever happened.
Can you describe it for us?
There was real treasure. That's all I'm going to let you know. There was real treasure, and there were real pirates. It was pretty amazing. The fourth graders went and visited Pioneer Village, and they loved it. It was so great in the village. The people who work at the village, you know, that's one of those old-timey places, and the kids get to experience history, firsthand Wisconsin history, and that's the focus in fourth grade. And as always, the personnel commented on how well behaved our Saints are, and I'm going to keep those Saints colored glasses on.
Cool.
Keeping them on. The kindergartners visited Apple Orchard and used it as a springboard for all kinds of literacy and math activities. And we are having Fire Safety Week. Well, not only us, the whole country's having Fire Safety Week. And the kids at Dresser take a walking field trip to the Dresser Fire Department, and the St. Croix Fire Department is amazing. They come here every year. They bring their trucks and they teach the kids how to be safe and how to make escape plans, and I know for a fact the kids bring that information home to their parents and bug them until it gets done. 10/10, October 10th, in 2 days, is the National Day of Awareness for Mental Health. So we have sent out information to all families on mental health tips and strategies to support youngsters and to support parents, and on Friday we are all charged with wearing yellow. Who has anything that's yellow? Nobody does. We don't have anything that's yellow. We're going to do our best to wear yellow on Friday. And then our evac drill went well too, and I appreciate that you gave a shout out to The church, I want to give a shout out to the amazing Dove Rehabilitation Center. They have been they host us all the time. They're amazing. You guys may have noticed their residents were all out at the homecoming parade. They all made saint signs. It's just absolutely a wonderful collaboration with them.
All right, very good.
We're gonna invite them to a pirate party.
You should. Mr. Wallace.
Yeah, as both of you guys mentioned, we had our UVAC drill last week. Things went really well. In advance of the drill, our teachers had a chance to talk to the students about, why we do drills like this in their WIN classes, prepared them for expectations on the drill. Things went really smoothly. Students were there on it and listening and attentive the whole time. It was smooth operation, as Mr. Wilson had mentioned. We had Zach Clark join our middle school staff here as a new 5th grade teacher. He is hitting the ground running and making great connections with the 5th grade students. He's been off to a great start so far, and it's been a nice addition to our 5th grade team for sure. With 5th grade rolling here, we also have 5th grade camp tomorrow and the next day, so kids are really fired up and ready to go. Our 5th grade teachers have been busy planning and getting arrangements made for that. And we are excited to get out there next 2 days with our campfire tomorrow evening with families. We'll sing along, so should be a lot of fun there. And then we also had our parent-teacher conferences. We had 2 nights of it this past week and on Tuesday night as well. First night was really well attended. Not as much on Tuesday night. I think there was quite a few sporting event conflicts going on that kind of put a damper on the last night's attendance. But all in all, great start to the school year with parent-teacher conferences there and overall well attended. So.
All right, very good. They don't sleep overnight anymore.
No, they do not sleep overnight anymore. It's something that several students have asked about trying to bring back. It's certainly on the table, but I know that a lot more planning needs to go on for an event like that overnight. So
I think it was my grade that was the last ones to sleep over at 5th grade camp.
it might have been the junior class.
The one, oh, did Owen?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they were the last group. So yep.
Yeah.
It was right around COVID, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, thank you all. Mr. Rohr, Superintendent.
Okay, so I put this in your board update, and we can't discuss any specifics, but you'll get one heck of a great update from Mr. Brian Cray at our November meeting. The school and district report cards are out, and all I will say is that the district performed very well, including all 3 of our buildings. So I'm sure you'll be excited to see that detail once those are released. That happens the day before November 11th, and our meeting is November 12th, I think. So that works out great. Bring your attention to a few bills circulating from at the Capitol, the state capitol, the WSB. Shared these details so you can go to that site for additional information. Assembly Bill 9, that is Youth Membership Organizations Access to Pupils. That's a bill that's being circulated, and Assembly Bill 32, which is access to high schools for military recruiters. Whether or not those become law, I'm happy to report that we are compliant prior to that being law. So we do allow youth membership organizations, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, that sort of thing, as well as military recruiters. In fact, some of them are former SCF grads coming in to do that sort of work. And Senate Bill 171, requiring child sex abuse prevention education, so that'd be a curriculum change. We'll keep an eye on something like that to incorporate in, I'm trying to think of the terminology, it just fell out of my head, like health education is where that would be incorporated. And then lastly, I know this is on our agenda as an upcoming event, but wanted to point out that the much anticipated Star Taco Bingo event is happening this Saturday. So grab your dollars, come on out, do some bingo, and maybe you'll get lucky. But I guarantee you'll have a good time, even if you don't win at bingo. So
There's tacos too.
there's going to be lots of tacos.
Starting at 2, right?
Yes.
Tacos at 2?
2 is when we, I think,
Right.
quote unquote, open, and then the bingo begins at 4. So
There's lots of good raffles too. Have them all.
all kinds kinds of great prizes.
They're
Yeah,
great.
it's incredible.
All right, thank you. Have any board members been able to make it to any trainings? Seen anything online or anything? How about next week? We got signed up for that.
I think it's just you and I, Brett.
All right. If you can make it, it's always a good time. It's over in Rice Lake. All right, just let them know to sign me up. We don't have any public here, so we'll move on. I'll take a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I can make that motion to approve the consent agenda.
We have a motion by Don,
Second.
second by Matt. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. We'll move on to curriculum and policy, and we're looking at the contracting of Hazel Reinhardt Consulting Services to conduct an enrollment projection population study, which is something that we talked about at the last board meeting, right? Yep, and it was $5,000.
$5,000.
So it's really not that much. It was something that we talked about as one of our goals, to try to identify any kind of trends or anything coming in. And for that price, I think, what the heck, we might as well get it done. But that's my opinion. You guys have your own. Any questions on that, or a motion to get it on the floor?
I'll make a motion to approve the contract with Hazel Reinhardt Consulting Services to conduct an enrollment projection and population study.
All right, we have a motion by Ronnie,
I'll second.
second by Tashina. Now, is there any further discussion?
Can I ask a question? I just wanted to ask, with the increase in like students that we had, I forget which grade, is it 5th grade? With
Middle
this-
school,
middle
yeah.
school, yeah, would this study help us identify that necessarily or not? Because that's kind of just a fluke.
Potentially. So the problem with something like this, so for, as an example, 13 students that are technically district residents with IEPs have come into the middle school. A good portion of students have also come into the 5th grade, pushing those numbers up. Ironically, I think we just did the third Friday count. Preliminarily, it looks like we're actually going to be down a little bit in terms of student numbers, which is odd, but it's always all about where those numbers occur. And that's one of the things I always point to, like, oh, you had 1,100 kids 10 years ago, and now you got 900. Why do you still have the same amount of staff? Or why are you only 2 staff members less? Well, that's not like one grade level. They're spread out throughout, pre-K through 12. And then you could have fluke opportunities like what happened this year with 5th grade. We picked up, I think it was 8 that we didn't anticipate. Was it 8, Chris?
Yep.
Might be 7 or 8. But anyway, point is that if they're district residents or providing a St. Croix Falls School District address, we're obligated to educate them. Will an enrollment study be able to identify things that might happen in that regard? And the quick answer to the question, the down and dirty answer, is not really. But what they can isolate is identify, which we technically already know, although you don't know when people are going to make the decisions. So we know who open enrolls out. We know that they're district residents, and we know that they're enrolling elsewhere. We know that people homeschool their kids if they're registered in Homer, which is the state homeschool database. So we do have access to those data points, but something like you're referencing for happening this year, there's no way any human being could predict that. Those numbers would likely be incorporated into some of what the materials that we're presented with, what's created. I'm sure we'll see that in the mix, but that kind of prediction would be almost impossible to make.
Good question. Any others? All right, we have a motion and a second. We don't, 5,000, we don't need a roll call that, do we? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to the policy 683, asset management. That was also discussed at the last board meeting. There was some minor changes, right, as far as what we had to do?
Yeah, correct. So that was just, sorry, I'm just making a note. That was just,
Adjusting from 5.
yeah, 5,000 to 10,000. Thank you so much. And as, that was as a recommendation from our auditors based on the GASB change.
All right, I'll take a motion to approve those changes for that policy?
I can make a motion to approve the policy 683 asset management as presented.
A motion by Don,
I'll second.
a second by Ronnie. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We'll move on to the ECCP applications. Again, that's something we talked about in the committee portion of the meeting. I'll take a motion to approve that.
I'll make that motion to approve the ECCP applications as presented.
We have a motion by Tashina,
Second.
second by Matt. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is carried. Next is the high school drama rehearsal on Sunday, November 9th, with a performance on Sunday, November 16th.
And we'll ensure it's in the afternoon.
Make that motion.
We have a motion by Matt,
I'll second.
second by Don. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Do we have any announcements?
We do not.
Outside the Star Bingo this weekend. Then the upcoming events are, of course, that as well. We have that WASB regional meeting at 6 o'clock in Layman's Supper Club in Rice Lake. And then we do not have a meeting on our normally scheduled week. It's the following Monday, the 27th. And again, that's at 5:30. And then the board meeting to set the levy and stuff is after that at 6 o'clock. And then we have our meeting on this November 12th, and if needed, November 26th. All right, Matt, would you please discuss the rules of the meeting?
Yes, focused on the mission and vision statements of the district, came prepared, respectful of others and open accepting of ideas, actively participated, avoided side conversations, and remembered board meetings are open forum.
Thank you, Matt. There's no closed item discussions or anything, so we'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
A motion by Ron, second by Tashina. All those in favor say aye. Aye. We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you. Think so.
She's ready for her mic. She's hoping.
Yeah,
I actually did.
you're getting one next meeting.
Technically,
It's happening.
we could change
That's
it.
so cold.
Maybe just say
It's cold in here.
I'll take it out.
Oh,
My calendar, that
Matt,
shared
did you
staff,
want
right?
tickets?
Oh, yeah.
Magically deleted.
Or just say.
The hive is gone.
Yeah.
Eric,
Give you the option.
You know what I mean? Just like
Did you
that.
find your?
That's great.